The IRS recently released its data book for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2024. And there's a scary fact in this data book for folks who owe the IRS and are looking for a settlement. What am I talking about? Well, here we have the data book here. And if we go down to page 69 of the PDF, there's a little chart down here. Check out this chart. Offers in compromise, percentage accepted, fiscal years 15 through 24. So the percentage has, hovered around 40%. It kind of dipped down to 30% during the pandemic, but it's, that was kind of explainable due to COVID. But, it's that 40% figure that we're accustomed to seeing. Folks, that figure, that acceptance rate has been cut in half. Okay? It's gone from 42% up here, and I'll show you the exact numbers, 42% up here to 21% down here. If you want to see the exact numbers, you gotta go down here to table 20. Come on, why don't you? Stupid, dumb IRS people can't do their hyperlinks and their PDFs right. I so frustrated with IRS people. Anyway, so you can see right here, offers, and this is for the last fiscal year. This is for the fiscal year ended last September. So this is the fiscal year ended September 2023. This is the fiscal year ended September 2024. Let's go to the offers and compromise section. Numbers of offers received for the preceding year, 30,163. Number of offers received for the most recent fiscal year ending, 33,591. So about 3,400 more offers were received, but about 5,500 fewer were accepted. So they received more offers, but they accepted fewer offers. And if you do the math here, the number of offers accepted, this 12,000 divided by the 30,000 for the preceding fiscal year, is about 42%. It's been cut in half. If you take for the most recent fiscal year ending, the 7,199 divided by 33,591 offers received, the acceptance rate is 21%. That's half. That's crazy. And meanwhile, what has gone up? Well, the number of federal tax liens filed, the levy action, right? So let's go back to page 69. Crazy, right? Look at that dip, okay? And I think I'm gonna give you three reasons here. I'm gonna give you three reasons why I believe that IRS offer and compromise acceptance rates are down, okay? And the first one is absolute incompetence by offer examiners and offer specialists and their managers at the IRS. Every single offer in compromise, and we at Choice Tax Relief, we don't submit an offer unless we think it's more likely than not that it's going to be accepted. So they're good offers. We submit good offers. Every single time, there's some bozo idiot who somehow became an offer examiner or an offer specialist at the IRS who doesn't know their own rules about the offer and compromise. I think their IQ's on the floor. Like, I seriously think their IQ's on the floor, right? Myself, our tax staff here, we do offers a lot. We're not living and breathing offers all day long like offer examiners and offer specialists are, right? But yet we still know offers way better than these people at the IRS who are doing them day in and day out because that's their only job is to look at offers and compromise. So there's just abject low intelligence at the IRS, or just laziness. I don't know what it is. Probably both, to be honest, that is causing them to reject good offers. And their managers are not any smarter, and they're signing off on these offer rejections. Well, we know how to handle that. We know that we can take that to appeals and appeal the rejection. And every time this has happened recently, we've got the offer accepted in appeals. Okay? Because generally appeals officers know a little bit more about how to do offer math and how offers and compromise work than the dummies in the centralized offer and compromise unit. Because I have not been impressed recently by the people staffing these offer and compromise units at the IRS, the centralized offer and compromise unit. I cannot speak any poorly of them than I am, because that would be impossible. I think they're barely functioning human beings. I really do. Anyway, so that's one reason, just sheer incompetence at the IRS, right? Second reason, I believe there are, so I think a lot of these are good offers that are being rejected, and people don't know that they can appeal it, right? Or let's say they don't agree with the appeals decision, they don't know, or maybe they don't want to pay for a tax attorney like we have on staff to do a tax court petition for them, right? And work it out there, right? In that arena, okay? And we will do that for our clients if we think the case merits that. Thankfully, don't usually have to do that, because usually it's straightened out in appeals. And the appeals officers are like, yeah, that offer examiner, that offer specialist must have an IQ of like 67 or something, because they're just dumb. So that's one reason. I think the IRS is rejecting a lot of good offers, and the person making the offer, they don't know their appeal rights, or they don't know how to appeal, or they're working professional who doesn't know how to appeal, or they don't want to pay a professional to work the appeal. So I think that's something that's going on here. Second reason, I think, is because there are a lot of rookie tax practitioners right now entering the tax resolution / tax relief space. Okay. And these aren't necessarily rookie tax professionals. They may have been doing tax returns for decades. Okay. But they're kind of seeing the writing on the wall with tax prep, with AI and all this stuff, right? Although I think it's still many years before AI replaces, tax preparers. But I think they're seeing the writing on the wall there. They're seeing kind of it's a race to the bottom with fees with tax prep. They're seeing a lot more DIY amongst the younger generation with like tax software and things like that, right? And other generations too. And they're like, okay, we want to get into something that's a little bit more, there's more of a moat around it, right? That AI can't replace as easily. That, the fees are a bit higher because this is legal work, and it's not, just tax prep work. Right, this is legal representation, and so we have a lot of people who have historically had just a tax prep practice now kind of getting into the tax relief, tax resolution space. Okay, and as a matter of fact, there's kind of this whole industry of tax relief gurus, right? Where they're like, hey, we'll teach you how to start a tax relief company. You got your CPA, and you've been doing tax returns. You don't want to do tax returns anymore. Here, I'll show you how to market and get clients, and how to do offers and compromises, and, negotiate hardship payment plans and things like that. So there's this whole, new swath of folks, CPAs or EAs or whatever, who have always just done tax returns, now entering the resolution space. And oftentimes they have no idea what they're doing. How do I know this? I see their questions in Facebook groups. Okay. I mean, I shouldn't do this, but I just posted their question. I'm not posting their name or anything. First time posting here, currently working for an OIC, and they're asking, can I submit an OIC with an electronic signature? You could tell this is your first rodeo. No, you can't. You can't submit an OIC with an electronic signature. Okay. And there's a lot of newbies. They join these Facebook groups, and I can see they're on, some of these are on like Reddit and other places too. It's like, wow, you should like work for someone first for like minimum 5 years, get some experience with the industry, know what you're doing, learn from people who know what they're doing before you submit these offers that you're just setting yourself and your clients up for failure. Okay. So that's number 2, right? So we'll get to the last reason, which is the obvious reason, which you probably all know about. First reason, dummies at the IRS. Number 2, I think well-meaning solo practitioners, small firm operators who are getting into the space. Third are the offer mills, right? And you know what I'm talking about. I mean, the shops that are throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars or, $1 million a month into TV, radio ads, internet ads, right? And when they're paying, some of these folks are paying $500 a lead per lead for someone to call in, $500 to lead sellers. Yeah, when you're paying $500 per lead, and you have a sales manager who's pretty much all on override for what his sales guys are going to produce, yeah, you're going to get really aggressive salesmanship. You're going to get, folks who are basically just selling. Yeah, we'll do an offer and compromise for you without any respect to whether there's any likelihood that offering compromise being accepted. Okay. So obviously another reason here is, we're kind of post-COVID when the IRS stopped sending a lot of collections notices. Collections notices are going out again. Levy notices are going out again. These big shops are spending more money on marketing again, and that means more dumb offers going out, right, from a lot of those shops. So word of the wise, if you heard an ad on the radio or something and the sales guy is telling you, oh yeah, we'll do an offer for you, but they haven't really asked you very much about your finances or anything, yeah, you might, if you sign up with them, you might be contributing to this, offering compromise acceptance rate essentially being cut in half year over year. Anyway, folks, that's all I got. I know we're one of the good guys in the industry here at Choice Tax Relief. If you owe the IRS at least $10,000 in back taxes or your state, or if you have multiple years of unfiled tax returns, you qualify for a free consultation with us. Give us a call, 866-8000-TAX. That's 866-8000-829. Or you can go to choicetaxrelief.com, fill out the form on the website, and we will reach out to you. I have some other videos about the Offering Compromise program on the left-hand side of the screen for your education and enjoyment. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.